Once your canvas is set up, now it's time to start making your underpainting. And basically what that means is to create a shape for each object that is kind of a base color for you to then shade lighter and darker with different colors, different shades, just like you did with the spheres and the cylinders. So basically, easiest way that I think there is to do that is to use the pen tool. Okay, and so I will start with this blue bottle. I'm going to double click on my foreground color. I'm going to click on the blue of the bottle. It's a very dark blue. And I'm going to hit OK. And then basically, I'm going to make sure that my pen tool is set to make a shape. Okay, I'll zoom in to do this. And you should be pretty good with this pen tool. The great thing about using the pen tool is this is going to make a vector shape that you can always go back and edit if necessary. So remember, you got the Option key, which lets you control the handles, right? Let's zoom in a little bit more. Get this. Now, I want to make this curve a little bit like that. It may be hard to see some things. If your color starts to cover the shape as you're making it, as you can see mine doing, and that can get in the way, basically if you come over to the layers palette and choose your fill, right here it says fill, I'm going to drag that down, and I won't make it completely maybe I will. I'll put it all the way at 0, because the whole idea is I can go back and increase that later when I need to. So I'm going to continue along. And like I said, great thing about using the pen tool for this is you can go back and change it later. And this is just to give you a base to paint on, like that. So the idea is, let me turn on the layers on this completed one. All my vector layers have these little symbols so that I know what is what. The apple one I must have rasterized. And there's my background. So this is what you should have as far as what you get done this week. Take your photo, make a copy of it, and get your basic underpainting shapes. If you want to go further and start getting shaded, or start with your shading in your paintbrush, using your paintbrush, etc., you can go ahead and do that. You know, what I would do is, what I like to do anyway, is have my reference photo over here, and I can drag it in and put it like right next to what I'm working on. Like if I want to see that lemon, I'll move it right there. I can see it, I can zoom in, I can see what stuff looks like. And here's the shading I did for my lemon. And you can experiment with different brushes too. So if you're on the brush tool, you know, your basic brushes were round brushes. But that's a general brush. There are lots of different things you can do, but you can also combine brushes or change the effects of brushes. For example, there's going to be brushes that will do more of a dry media. It'll be almost more like a chattery spray kind of a thing. So experiment with it, see what they do. Okay? You can also click this button here, the brush settings panel, and this lets you basically combine brushes together or change different settings on your brush. So you can scatter it, you can use shape dynamics, transfer, A lot of these work well with a drawing tablet if you've got one. If you don't, sorry. But one that works really well, one setting that can work really well for what we're doing here, is to use what's called dual brush. And what dual brush does is it's going to combine the brush you're using with another brush. So it will, and you can change the size of that second brush and give it some texture and some spacing as you paint. So just real quickly, so if I paint with a brush that's combined with another one here, you see how I get like a nice texture effect. That would look pretty good on the lime or a lemon, something like that. Changing to a different one, it's going to look a little different. You can also do wet edges. Let me change the brush size here a little bit. Wet edges kind of gives it like more wet toward the edge. All right. Thanks for watching.